Welcome, I'm Scott Cooksey, an instructor in the Welding Technology Department. Today I'm going to show you how to properly weld with GMAW, gas metal arc welding, or what we commonly refer to as MIG welding. Before we get started with welding, we need to make sure that the machine is properly set up. MIG welding uses a consumable wire electrode that is constantly fed into the molten weld pool by a wire feeder. The wire feeder gives a constant feed of wire set in inches per minute. The rollers grab the wire and pull the wire through the machine. The type of roller we use depends on the type of wire. We also have to use the right diameter of roller for the size of the electrode we are using. In this scenario, we are using 035 solid electrodes, so we need to use V-groove rollers and 035 diameter rollers. Now, to set how much pressure the drive rollers put on the wire, we have a tensioner that we can adjust. For certain types of wire, we have to run different tensions so we do not crush or pinch the wire. For the demonstration today, we will be using an ER70S6 solid wire electrode. We load the spool of wire on the spool holder. Some wire feeders feed from the top and others are from the bottom. In this case, the wire feeder feeds from the top of the machine. Now, we will put our rollers on the machine and make sure the 035 side is facing us. We'll cold feed the wire through the machine so that we do not waste shielding gas. We'll now tighten the tension to the correct setting. Now, let's talk about shielding gas, which is required for GMAW welds. The most common shielding gas used currently is a mix of 75% argon, 25% CO2. The shielding gas provides a gaseous envelope that protects the weld from all the contaminants in the air, such as nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen. These contaminants will cause you to have porosity and an undesirable weld profile. The shielding gas also helps you cool your weld and your welding gun. There are several different mixtures of gases. Argon has rapid cooling and is a very dense gas that provides adequate shielding and arc stability. CO2 provides puddle fluidity and penetration in the weld pool. The shielding gas should be set in between 20 and 30 cubic feet per hour. Now, we need to set the machine to the correct settings to begin welding. First thing I'm going to check is the polarity. I want to make sure my machine is set on direct current electrode positive. My ground or working lead should be in the negative terminal and my electrode should be on the positive terminal. There are two main controls that I have to be concerned with when MIG welding: voltage and wire feed speed. Wire feed speed controls the amount of wire the machine feeds out in inches per minute. Wire feed speed also controls your amperage, which provides heat to your weld pool. Voltage controls your arc length and how your puddle wets out. If you turn your voltage up, your weld pool will get wider and flatter. If you turn voltage down, your bead will get narrower and hump up more. Your voltage and wire feed speed have to correlate. If we have too much voltage, we will get a flat weld profile with large spatter. If there's too much wire speed, we will have a narrow, humped up bead with a lot of fine spatter, and this could cause the bead to overlap. When we MIG weld, we hold the MIG gun at specific angles, and there are certain factors that we have to take into consideration. We need to be concerned with our stick out, or what we call contact to work distance. When MIG welding, you do not want more than 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch stick out. If we have too much stick out, it can cause porosity to our weld pool and cause the bead to become humped up. When MIG welding, we need to push the weld pool instead of drag the weld pool. We can have no more than 10 to 15 degrees of lead at any time. So I'm going to lay down bead 1 at a 30-degree angle. Now I will lay down bead 2 at a 45-degree angle, covering up bead 1 by a little more than half. Now I will lay bead 3 down at a 30-degree angle, covering up bead 2 by half. This is the proper way to weld with GMAW. To learn more, look for our other video on how to make shielded metal arc welds.